We'll show you where to bring the kids, the best places to go to eat, places to learn about the history of baseball. It's all a part of Turner Field, opening in just 5 days. Welcome to Thomas E. White Stadium in Port St. Lucie, Florida, as we get set to bring you the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets in the final week of exhibition baseball in Florida. Tom Glavine will pitch tonight for the Mets, for the Braves against Bobby Jones of the New York Mets. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Cohn, and welcome to Fox Sports South and a very special edition of the Honda Braves Report. You know, if you're eating dinner now and listening to us in the background, or perhaps doing the dishes with us on in the background, you might want to pull yourselves away and gather around in front of the television set, because we're going to give you a very in-depth, a deluxe tour of the new Turner Field, brought to us by the Braves Vice President of Development, Janet Marie Smith. It promises to be a very informative and entertaining half hour. You might even rush off to your VCR and tape it to show your friends, because this is a magnificent new baseball stadium, and if you were in the stadium during the Olympic Games, you just will not believe the transformation. It is colorful, and it is going to be a dynamic place to watch baseball, and we'll bring you that in just a couple of minutes. I want to update you on the medical condition of Braves relief pitcher Brian Harvey. Yesterday, late in the game, in his one inning of work, he threw this pitch and reached for his back and his side. He was taken to the trainer's room and immediately diagnosed with a strain or a pulled muscle in the intercostal area. That's between the ribs, and he was in tremendous pain yesterday, but happy to report today that the pain has subsided, and he's done a number of exercises, and now instead of being 1 to 6 weeks, he could be day to day. So that's the update on Brian Harvey. When we come back, the tour of Turner Field.
The Honda Braves Report is brought to you by Honda and your participating local Honda dealers. By Gatorade, the official sports beverage of Major League Baseball. By Advance Auto Parts, the best part is our people. By the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, you'll know when you read the pages. And by Life College, educating young minds with hope and a purpose in life. Marietta, Georgia.
You know, as a youngster, I had the pleasure and the privilege of visiting baseball shrines like Ebbets Field and the Polo Grounds, and of course Yankee Stadium. And in the last few years as a big league announcer, I have been able to visit Coors Field and Jacobs Field, Camden Yards, and the ballpark in Arlington. As I sat in the Olympic Stadium this past summer, I tried to visualize what the place would look like for baseball, but somehow in the mind's eye, I could not come up with the images that you're about to see and the words of Janet Marie Smith as we take you on a tour of new Turner Field.
Hi, I'm Janet Marie Smith, Atlanta Braves Vice President of Planning and Development. We're here at Turner Field, America's newest and best Major League Baseball park. Let me show you around. Turner Field was put together by literally thousands of people, and even if you break it down into its component parts, there were dozens of architectural firms, contractors, and even more than one client for this job. So what's exciting for us is that the city of Atlanta has gotten a completely debt-free, first-class baseball park out of the Olympic effort. Well, the new generation of baseball parks are clearly in a different league than either the 60s parks, which were multi-purpose and round, or even the wonderful old-fashioned parks like Ebbets and Wrigley and Fenway. We've tried to learn from the best of all of them. This is a baseball-only facility, and we're very proud that Turner Field has got the kind of tight orientation to the playing field that the old ballparks had. But we're equally as proud of all of the first-class, high-tech, modern amenities that really make the place special in today's environment. Turner Field itself as a piece of architecture is very classic and very traditional and civic in its design. It's a red brick facility with old-fashioned steel trusses, just like bridges and buildings have used for years to hold themselves up. And in that sense, the architecture and its color scheme are very classic. But the Braves are America's team, and we're a relatively new team, particularly here in Atlanta. So the red, white, and blue adornment that you see on all of the building jewelry is something that we've really made the most of. From the Braves signature sign on top of the scoreboard to the canopies in the plaza, we tried to think of this as being a very festive, colorful place to be. Of seating at Turner Field. The lower level, the field level, is very tight to the playing field. The seats sit about as close as any major league park in terms of proximity to the diamond itself. There's very little foul territory in the outfield. Our fans are right on top of the 8-foot outfield fence. The terrace level, which is the second level up, is really an extension of the lower seating bowl. But it's got an open concourse so that you can see what's going on the playing field when you go back to make a phone call or pick up a hot dog. The club level is perhaps the most special in terms of the amenities it offers. It's overhanging the terrace level, so you're pushed pretty close to the action, though you're elevated. You've got the same view of the game that the general manager does. And it's got a conditioned, heated concourse that's got amenities and upscale foods and beverages and lounges and televisions and things that really make it a more luxurious seating area. In fact, all of our private suites are also located on the club level. And on the upper deck, well, it's an old-fashioned upper deck, and we've tried to push it down as close to the action as we could and still maintain good sight lines. There's a very gentle slope to the upper deck, so you don't feel like you're in nosebleed section. The upper deck seating has got wonderful views of the city. There's really not only not a bad seat in the house in terms of viewing the game, there's not a bad seat in the house in terms of finding other things to do if you're not hanging on every pitch.
They're going to stand here and yell all night.
Here at Turner Field, down the right field line, we have a dimension of 330. Down the left field line, it's 335. Probably more acutely different are the power alleys. Down the right field line, it's 390, and down the left field line, it's only 380, and straightaway center is 401. So the combination of the small amount of foul territory, the tight geometry of the outfield, and the low walls, only 8 feet, I think will make it a great place to watch baseball. In right field, you'll find the Braves bullpen, and in left field, you'll find the visitors bullpen. And not only can you see it from every seat in the house, but you can walk right up on top of it and literally be 15 feet away from a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So it's a great way to keep up with the action. The scoreboard itself is something that we're very proud of because it's probably one of the clearest definitions of any scoreboard out there. We try to think of the entire outfield as a real composition, the out-of-town scoreboard on top of the 755 club, the game in progress scoreboard that's actually on the field of play in right field, and then in center field is the main scoreboard. And there we've got the matrix board so that you'll be able to see not only the game in progress, but notes about the game, about the players, about the pitch, and be able to see whatever highlights are shown on the video board. The scoreboard control room is truly a production studio, and we are producing an event in real time out here.
And the first pitch to Chipper, driven high and deep to right field. Mondesi back, and this ball is out of here. The Braves win.
The press box is designed to really be able to present baseball not only to the 49,500 fans that are inside the gates every night, but to also be able to present Braves baseball via radio and television and the written press. So our press box seats about 100 writers, and we've got radio booths and television booths and a master scoreboard control room that will allow us to really produce state-of-the-art shows.
Well, we'll have much more on New Turner Field. That's something new coming up. And here's an old-time tradition, signing autographs. Mike Mordecai accommodating the fans prior to the Mets and the Braves on Fox Sports South.
And now here.
Hi, I'm Janet Marie Smith. We're at Turner Field. We're in the entry plaza. This place is one of a kind. Let me show you around. Everything in here bespeaks of Braves baseball. Stan Kasten, our president, has reminded us of that time and time again, that this is a baseball experience through and through, whether you're in your seat or in the concourse. So we've made the most of that. Flanking the baseball on either side are entry pavilions that are full of food, they're full of games, they're going to have things like the Taste of the National League, so that when other visiting teams are here and they have foods that are worth highlighting, we can have cheesesteaks when the Phillies are in town, or maybe later in the summer when the Orioles come in for a season, there'll be crab cakes out there. There are Mexican wraps underneath the sign that says Taste of the Border, that even when you're standing out here 600 feet from home plate, you'll be able to keep up with the game. There's a matrix board underneath that will have notations about other Major League games that are going on simultaneously. We'll be able to show every Major League game going on anywhere in North America. The Braves have collaborated with the Atlanta History Center to develop not only the Ivan Allen Jr. Braves Museum and Hall of Fame, but also Scouts Alley. This is a wonderful space that will highlight Braves history in Boston and Milwaukee and in Atlanta. The train car that you see here will tell the story about the way players used to travel and what that meant in the days that you were traveling on the train and what that era was like. And within the next 2 weeks, all the other artifacts will come in. And of course, the statues that were so memorable at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium are being brought over into this area. Bill Necro, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron. And just any day now, there'll be monuments put up to each of the players whose numbers have been retired. I guess all of that is a way of saying that collectively the History Center and the Braves have felt that museums aren't just about artifacts under glass, that there are really a lot of things that we want our fans to have a chance to experience just in the natural flow of being at Turner Field. And Scouts Alley is another good example of that. Scouts Alley is a recognition that baseball isn't all about passive artifacts. It's about interactive things. It's about testing a bat or throwing a pitch yourself, and it's all told through the viewpoint of a scout, so that you can take a look at the actual scouting reports of a number of Major League players, including the obvious Dale Murphy and Hank Aaron, and see exactly what they were thought of when they were 19 years old, before they hit the Major Leagues. The Chop House here in center field is probably one of the greatest moments in the design of this park, because it was a recognition that we had this great space overlooking the playing field, and that it would be a perfect place for a barbecue house. So here we have a two-level restaurant that terraces over the outfield. It's meant to be just a place where you can hang out and have a cold lemonade, have a plate of barbecue or some buffalo wings, watch the game. The 755 Club is the one piece of the puzzle that won't be open in April, but it'll be something to look forward to in July, that will sit up here on the club level in left field underneath the out-of-town scoreboard. It's obviously named for the home run king. It'll be open every day at lunch, and will offer a selection of foods, highlighting particularly those that are unique and special to the South.